everyone, and welcome back, guys, to the Online Racing League and the start to a brand new series on the channel, guys. Here today for the Corvette CR7 Cup, guys, and this series I'm really looking forward to. You know, the second series from ORL that I'm running on the channel at this moment in time. You know, obviously we've got the Scirocco's, which is coming to the end in a couple of weeks' time, guys. You know, hopefully you guys look forward to these races. You know, I think these cars are probably more suited to what people obviously enjoy on the channel. Obviously it harks back to when obviously I used to race in these cars back in AOR as well. So, you know, hopefully, obviously if you guys are new around here or you remember those days, you do subscribe if you're not done so already, guys. But, you know, moving on into qualifying for the first round of the season, and Laguna Seca, one of those tracks I'm really not a fan of on this game. So, you know, just want to try and get some good points on the board in the first race of the series. It was a hugely competitive grid for this first race of the season. So, you know, we'll probably be a little further down than I originally intended. You know, Forza RC is coming to an end, so a few people are just doing, you know, one-off races here and there to keep the practice in, guys. But this qualifying lap overall felt alright. You know, it wasn't a particularly brilliant lap, but it wasn't also particularly bad. There were no big mistakes I think I made around this whole lap. So, you know, hopefully I still should be in a fairly strong position for the first race of the night. Now, obviously, this series is actually a little bit different to the Scirocco's in the fact that we don't actually run a warm-up lap in these races. So there's no way, obviously, as soon as the game puts you in, you could just go straight from there, which obviously should lead up to a little bit more interesting racing. I would have thought, obviously, cold tyres in the early stages of the races there, guys. But that is the end of my fastest qualifying lap, and a 1 minute 25.89 there. A fairly decent lap. It was about 3/10 off my PB.
I don't like Laguna.
But that did actually leave me up in third place in B lobby there. Really, A lobby was basically on my best lap, so, you know, I wasn't expecting to get into A lobby in this first week. To be third in B lobby, though, I was very, very happy with for the first round of the season, guys. We've got GTR Achilles and VBR Hayasa just ahead of me there, obviously. Two names you guys will probably recognise from the Scirocco Cups, guys. But we're ready for the start of the season, and it's lights out, and away we go there. And GTR Achilles gets off to an absolutely atrocious start there. Hayasa and I are both going to be able to look straight past him, down already before turn one there. And I'm going to have a look around the outside of Hayasa here. You know, I want to try and go for the lead very early on and try to, you know, just defend in the lead from this race. But Hayasa keeps it tidy through turn one there, and he gets a very poor run at the corner though, so I'm going to have a look down the inside in towards turn 3 here. Try and park my car a little bit on the apex there, squeeze him out wide into turn 4 there, but Hayasa brakes incredibly late there. I need to make sure to give him the room on the exit there, squeeze him ever so slightly there. He runs on the sand a little bit there, but no contact was made, which leaves us side by side once again down towards turn 5 here. He's on the inside though this time, so should be able to make the position stick. I get caught out wide on the off camber there, so Hayasa's going to have the inside line into the kink here, and there's nothing I can do to defend from that. Going to try and go for a bit of an undercut as we go up the hill now, trying to find a position we can get. Hayasa actually gives me the room on the inside there. Very, very surprised that he gave me that, but he does break a lot later into the corkscrew there and does hold on to the lead of this race here in the early stages there. And coming down the hill, you know, it's just one of those places where you just need to short shift up and try to get as little wheel spin as you possibly can. That Hayasa leads ahead of myself with GTR Achilles up in third place, guys. And unfortunately, that was really the only thing that happened in the first race of the night. You know, I sort of just held it by myself a little bit. We had places where Achilles was right on my gearbox, but I held P2 all the way through the race there, so obviously not too much to show. And obviously, in B lobby, they're very, very happy with P2 in the opening race of the series there, guys. There's P18 overall, which should give me a fairly decent haul of points, but it will leave me very far down the grid for the second race of the evening there, guys. But there's just confirmation of that. VBR Hayasa won that first race. Myself in P2 with GTR Achilles third, and my teammate EVR Taylor up in P4 there. We're actually part of the same team within the series as well, guys. So hopefully, you know, we have some good results between us in the series, guys. And hopefully, we keep it clean between the pair of us. But moving on then into the second race of the evening, guys. And I'm starting down, obviously, second to last on the grid for this second race of the evening. So, you know, we've got to only hope that we end up having a fairly clean race there. We've got GTR Classic on pole for the second race of the evening, guys. The GTR Corsa just next to me. There's so many GTR guys in this B lobby there. Tiski up in P3, and obviously we had Achilles further down the order as well, guys. But starting from second to last on the grid, and hoping Achilles gets off to a poor start once again there. But unfortunately for me, he does get off to a much better start. Not on the uphill this time, but coming down towards turn one. Obviously, it's just about trying to find your own space on the circuit. I'm going to try and hold it wide into the opening part of the corner there and go towards the apex on the entrance to the corner there. Give Achilles a tiny little bit of a knock there, which unfortunately sends him sideways. He got caught on the front end of Ben there, which unfortunately punted another couple of guys out wide just a little bit there. But I hold on to P10 as Hayasa goes past me, but one other guy runs wide through the corner there. There's another car gone off to the left-hand side there, as you can see. Trying to have a look down the inside of Hayasa there, but he holds it absolutely perfectly. So we've got Caesar's Wrath, I think that is, just coming past me towards the next corner there. He's going to try and have a look to my outside there, and obviously into the next corner. Get very, very late on the brakes there. He tries to hold it around the outside there, but I'm going to be able to keep the car on the inside there, getting a very good run out of the corner there. He's probably going to have to back out into the kink there, but he runs wide over the curb, and unfortunately for him, he ends up in the gravel trap there. Not exactly what he would have wanted, but you know, it was unfortunately for him, obviously just on the outside of the corner there. Unfortunately for him, it wasn't able to work there, guys. You can just see everyone's still obviously incredibly close to each other in this early stages of the second race. So I accidentally completely sliced the corkscrew there. That was not intentional. And you can just see my teammate EVR Taylor absolutely everywhere there, going all over the place, making contact with so many drivers in these early stages there. But Achilles and Hayasa make contact as well. We're going to make it 3 wide into the final corner there. I have to go late on the brakes to make a tiny bit of contact with my teammate EVR Taylor there once again. I can only apologise to him. You know, I had to try and make the move on these two guys as well. So coming down towards turn 1, I've got the slipstream on him. I'm a lot quicker down the straights, and he makes a little bit of contact with me. And unfortunately for him, he goes into the gravel there. No idea what that was about. I think he wanted me to go far further over the white lines there. But, you know, I want to respect the track limits in these races there, guys. But unfortunately for him, you know, not exactly what we wanted in the early stages of this race. But I'm now right on GTR Corsa here, and I'm looking fairly strong at this moment in time. You know, I really feel that it was sort of me, Hayasa, and Achilles there. You know, we're a little bit quicker than everyone else in the first race there, guys. You know, hopefully, obviously, if I can stay ahead of those two, then I can try and look all the way through the field here. So, you know, obviously, these guys probably, you know, sort of not too far off me. I think this whole grid was separated by sort of half a second at most. So, you know, it won't be easy to catch up other people, but, you know, hopefully, if I can be consistent, I can try and make moves on people. You can just see Corsa makes a little bit of mistake through the kink. Now, that's going to give you the inside into the corkscrew there, but Corsa runs massively wide into the corner there. He completely cuts the exit at the corner there to try and stay out of the way, and I now move up into P5 of the race there. Now we're on the hunt for more of the GTR guys, but AMS Kenpachi there, the next car at the road, so hopefully, you know, as we skip on to lap 6, I am closing in on him just a little bit here, but we got Hayasa right behind me as well, so, you know, hopefully I can try and keep him at bay as he looks to my outside into the second to last corner there. Definitely not an overtaking place on the outside there, but he's going to have a look down the inside into the final corner there. I'm going to give him the room on the inside. I'm going to go for a bit of an undercut strategy here. He loses the back end on the exit of the corner there, and with a lot less aero on my car, I'm able to go right back around the outside of him down towards turn 1 here. And I do hold on to P5 in this race there, guys. A lot of people are complaining about how little aero I was running, obviously, in this race. You know, I'm so used to the Scirocco's where I lose 50 feet down the straights, and now in this Corvette, around this track, I was gaining about 50 feet over just about everyone there. So, you know, moving on to lap 8, a couple of laps further on, and Hayasa still, you know, trying to make moves on me. Goes down the inside once again, and I'm going to try and go for the same thing. He makes sure this time not to lose the back end on the exit at the corner there, but I do still get a slightly better run on him. He goes to the inside once again there, and I'm going to have to try and have a look around the outside, nearly put him into the wall there. I can only apologise to him there. And coming down towards turn 1, I go back around the outside of him there, but he late breaks me into the corner there. I'm going to try and go for the undercut through turn 1 there, make a tiny bit of contact there, and we're going to be going side by side through the next couple of corners, just like we did in race 1 there. Makes a little bit of contact with me, pushes me out wide there, and Achilles is going to be able to get through as well. And a bit unfortunate for myself there, but, you know, that's just racing instant. And unfortunately for me, we're back down to P7 in the race now, but, you know, we're still right behind Achilles and Hayasa, and Achilles, you know, very worried I was going to go down the inside into the next corner there, so, no, I dummy him a little bit there, hoping, you know, that he might make a mistake. You give him a tiny little bit of a push on the exit of the corner there, so, you know, I'm not going to try and gain an advantage from that through the corner there. But coming through the kink, Achilles takes it very, very quickly there, but runs a little bit wide over the gravel there. I run a little bit wide as well, but coming up the hill towards the corkscrew, I'm going to try and have a look around the outside there, make a little bit of contact with him, get stuck together there, and Achilles runs massively deep into the corner, nearly taking out Hayasa there. But nothing, obviously, either of us could do with that. You know, the cars on this game a little bit glitchy when it comes to door-to-door contact. You know, they sort of just glue together and stick forward, guys. But moving on to the end, to the start of lap 15 here, you can see there's a train of 4 or 5 cars just ahead of me here. So, you know, hopefully, you know, if these guys make instants, I can try and make my way through these guys that we see. One of those guys, I think it was AMS Datsun, runs a little bit wider, and he turns in on Kenpachi there. That's going to take them both out of the race. They're straight into the gravel, and that's going to inherit me 2 extra positions in this race, which takes me back up to P5 overall. There we got Hayasa and Achilles still just up the road ahead of me here, and you know, if they can have a little bit of a squabble between them, then maybe I could try and get back past the pair of those guys. But moving on to the end of the race there, guys. Coming through the final couple of corners, still down in P5. Hayasa is going to be able to get past Achilles there. And, you know, they're just going to sort of do, you know, go single file through this final lap of the race there. But coming into the final corner, Ben thinks about going for a very, very late dive bomb there, you know, really an all or nothing kind of move. But I do turn into the corner before he can get there. And that's going to be P5 in the second race of the evening there. 2 very strong point scoring positions for myself there. That obviously I can be very, very happy with that, you know, considering how fierce the lobby really was. You know, I was the highest EVR member overall in this week, guys. And that should leave me, I think, sort of P18, P19 overall there, guys. But hopefully, you know, you guys have enjoyed this video. Do not forget to like, subscribe if you are new around here, guys. And I will see you next week for Road America.